Welcome back. This week we have another great topic. We're talking all about how to teach a reactive dog just to simply walk away. And you might be a little confused as into what I'm talking about. So let's just jump right into it. But first, I'm Pamela Brown with Down for Paws Dog Training. We help make life living with your dogs way easier. And that's what I'm about to do today. So if you have a reactive dog, let's just clarify first what I mean by reactive dog, because sometimes when I hear people talk about dog reactivity, they talk about dogs being aggressive. Dogs, you think the worst when you think about reactivity, but reactivity just means something that your dog is interested in. So when your dog's reactive, they could be reactive because they want to meet or greet another dog. Of course, they could be reactive because they're scared and they are a growling or whatever it may be. But there's different forms of reactivity. I want you just to get into your head that it can be a thing that's not so in your face. It could just be because they're excited. So, with that being said, ideally, when we think about our reactive dog, a lot of families struggle because it can be very tense, and you just want to go on a nice walk with your dog. You don't want to get into. I'm talking about a situation where your dog's reactive towards other dogs because that's like the number one call that I get, right? So you're taking your reactive dog on a walk. You're already stressed out. You're already like, oh my gosh, I hope I don't walk into a dog or whatever it may be. But until your dog gets some training, until you reach out to a trainer like myself, you simply want to teach your dog to walk away with you. It sounds simple enough, and it's just what it means. Your dog, when you see another dog and you want to get out that situation, your dog should be able to quickly walk away with you. Because a lot of times, what ends up happening, right? You see that dog, you're pulling your dog to come with you. Some dogs don't readily come with you, so you can get out that situation. So, what we want to do is train our dogs to quickly come with us when we need to, right? So I'm going to teach you how to start that off in your home so that you can utilize this on walks until you can get some training for your reactive dog. So what you want to do, if you do have a fenced in backyard, perfect. If not, you just want to use a long line. Ideally, when we want our dog to come with us, if you think about the grand scheme of things, we truly just want them to focus on us. So what you want to do in your backyard, you just simply start walking either direction in your backyard. A dog's natural instinct is going to be to catch up with you. Once your dog catches up with you, you want to give them a treat and reward them. You start walking again, right? Your dog catches up with you and you give them a treat. What you are teaching your dog is that when you stick with me, you get rewarded. Okay. So once your dog starts to like stick with you and catch up with you within like 5 seconds, then you can add on, add the leash on, and then practice with your dog just walking away quickly. And ideally, how I do this, once I start with no leash in the backyard, again, if your yard's not fenced in, you want to put them on a long line, but do this without a leash first. You want to make sure you have some treats. So once your dog is like following you and they kind of get that game, like, ooh, when I catch up with you, I get a treat. Then you want to actually put the leash on them that you're going to walk with them with, right? So when you put that leash on them, you're just going to pretend like you're walking in your backyard and you're going to quickly guide them and switch the opposite direction. When you do that, you are going to reward your dog for switching the opposite direction with you. Because ideally, what you want them to do is quickly turn around and go in the other way with you. So you just want to practice that randomly in your yard, just quickly walk and walk and walk. Oop, let's go this way. Oop, 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 let's go this way. And each time your dog should quickly want to come with you. Why? Because you did practice just them catching up with you first, but now your dog understands that if they stick with you, they get rewarded for that. And so that's how you teach your dog to walk away on walks. And you can utilize that anytime you're in those situations where your dog is quote unquote reactive. The earlier you do this, the better. Just keep in mind, if a dog pops up suddenly, you may not be able to have them walk away as quickly unless you practice this over and over again. Repetition is going to be key to making this truly effective for you. So do make sure that you practice this in the backyard so that when you need to utilize this on the walk, it makes sense. So if you're watching this live today and you're like, ooh, I'm going to go out and try this today on a walk. And remember, it may not be as effective because you have not practiced enough with your dog. I cannot stress enough how consistency is key. So before, again, do practice this on the walk with your dog, but don't expect perfection until you practice it. So be sure to practice this in your backyard, practice this on walks, and just teach your dog to simply walk away. All right. So I hope you gather some good insight into what dog reactivity is. I taught you how to teach your dog to walk away. If you have any questions, just drop them in the comments. As you know, I'm always around. If you love to listen to podcasts, you can find me on all the podcast platforms, Apple, Spotify, Stitcher. So be sure to listen to me on there. Other than that, I will see you next week with another great topic. Bye.